Hello everybody, Meta here, with a different series to add a bit more variety to the games I review and talk about. This time, we're going over a series that involves a little pink puffball named Kirby. And today I'll be taking a look at his debut game, Kirby's Dreamland, on the original Game Boy, where he isn't pink. I feel lied to. Kirby's Dreamland is a fairly short 2D platformer, and as I said before, you take the role of Kirby, the white puffball. Actually, you know what? No, he's pink, and I'm fixing this right now. There, that's better. Thank you, Kirby's Dreamland DX. Now, as I was saying, you take the role of Kirby, the tough pink puffball on his way to take back the food of Dreamland that was stolen by the evil tyrant King Dedede, who is a pretty dapper looking penguin if I do say so myself. Throughout the game, you'll traverse through 4 different stages before you can finally reach King Dedede himself in his castle to settle the score. Now Kirby himself has a pretty simple moveset in this game. You got your basic movement of walking, no running in this adventure, so enjoy your surroundings, jumping, and if you hit up on the D-pad you can fly. The only thing I don't like about flying being up on the D-pad is because my thumb constantly hits up on accident, causing me to just fly randomly. But that's not really a big of a deal, it's just a me thing. As for the way you attack your foes, you'll need to rely on the old inhale-exhale technique, since copy abilities don't exist yet. And no, I don't mean breathing on your enemies. I'm talking about Kirby's signature move where you inhale your enemies and/or objects and spit them back as projectiles to your foes. You can swallow inhaled foes and items, but there's not really a reason to do so unless you want to. Kirby's simple moveset complements the gameplay perfectly, as a simple and quick experience, easy to learn and pick up, which especially works since it is a Game Boy game to play on a handheld experience. As for the level design in the game, each stage is pretty straightforward. I mean, there's not really any secrets to look for other than some extra rooms for health, or different pathways leading to different areas. Just one linear stroll to the end. And while this isn't the most exhilarating experience when playing a video game, you have to remember the time that this game was released and the limitations of the console that it was on. However, despite the limitations of the Game Boy, the level design in Kirby's Dreamland is actually pretty unique and tailored to Kirby himself. There's many occasions where Kirby's ability to fly is put to the test through more vertical based rooms. Heck, the first room in the game is there to help you teach you how Kirby's inhale and exhale work, with all of the enemies waltzing around just asking to be used as ammunition or be used for target practice. Every level in the game does feature its own theme, and some of them have different gameplay mechanics, like having Kirby fly around freely like a horizontal 2D space shooter, so there's a decent variety offered in this short adventure. There's also a boss waiting for you at the end of each level, each one harder than the last. One of the bosses does take place within the 2D shooter segment I mentioned before, and I think that's a great way to change up the pace with the bosses. The last level in the game of course features a boss rush, and while I can easily see the argument of that being a padding for playtime, boss rushes would later become a staple in Kirby games, so I would consider this the start of that trend. And after all that, you'll fight King Dedede himself. And, well, that's the game. Or, well, the normal experience of the game. Kirby's Dreamland features an extra mode after the game is completed for the first time, where you'll be given a code to put in the title screen. The extra mode features a harder adventure where the enemies do more damage and move around faster, making it harder to inhale or hit them. The bosses have also been upgraded to use new moves and have faster attack patterns, making them even harder than before. Extra mode can really throw you in for a loop, especially if you just keep accidentally hitting up and watching Kirby careen right into something that kills him. Despite that skill issue, the extra mode is a really fun challenge for those who seek it, and you'll be rewarded after completing that as well. Once extra mode is completed, the game will provide a code for a configure mode where you can adjust certain settings like your max health and lives to have during the entire adventure, as well as access to the sound test. Once those things are decided, you can choose to play those settings in the normal or extra mode, so you can easily create a very difficult experience for yourself or something just very easy and simple. Kirby's Dreamland is a very short and simple game. There's really not too much to say about it other than what I've mentioned. Of course I could go over all the enemies and all the cute sprite work in the game, but other than that it's just a neat quick experience. And I personally don't think that there's anything wrong with that, even in today's standards. Despite it not being a grand adventure or a unique game with some cool new mechanic, it's a fun little pocket-sized game that can be enjoyed for its simplicity. As I played through Kirby's Dream Land, it reminded me that when playing older games that I shouldn't think of arguments about why the game is limited or not as advanced, or think, yeah, the game aged poorly, but to just enjoy the game at face value and what it has to offer. That's what games are for, to enjoy. Unless they're just inherently bad. Thank you for watching. Meta, out.